Are live. Instagram live with Tiana today. Instagram live with Tiana today. Instagram live with Tiana today. You guys, it has been way too long. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to be here today. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm living in my cowboy hat. I was in Texas, honey. I went to the rodeo and I can't take it off. So we are here. It is Wednesday. I usually do this on a Thursday, but it's here. We're Wednesday. We're going to talk about Creative Director Pro Academy. Long time no see. Let's go. Yes, I'm so happy you guys are here with me. It is a beautiful day outside. After this, I'm probably going to go for a walk. But for now, let's hunker down and have a little bit of a chit chat. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know me, I am Tiana Gandelman, aka Tiana Today. I'm a creative director, producer, and a mentor to creatives who really want to understand the behind the scenes of putting on live entertainment shows, whether it's on tour, TV, award shows. I have the experience to share it. And this ecosystem that has been created, I'm literally watching in real time people taking this knowledge and catapulting themselves to a level that is beyond their own belief. And I say from experience that once you tap into just like planting the seeds of wanting more knowledge in a certain direction, it's like a gravitational pull. You cannot fight it. The energy that you put out is what is given. And I am super pumped to share that what was started, I think at the end of 2024, Creative Director Pro Academy we just had a beta group. We were just trying to test out, is this idea that I have going to work? And so now we're coming up into spring 2026 and we have the fourth round of this coming up. And I'm pumped. I just got off of a one-on-one session with somebody who had done the program this last fall. And I know this sounds wild because we specifically say it's Creative Director Pro Academy, but what I do share is really like creative freedom. What I can share with you with even the knowledge of Canva, the terminology that you learn inside of this program can take you to so many different places in live performances. If this is something here, I'm going to try to add a comment here. If you want this information to get to you directly in your inbox, comment Academy waitlist, and then you will get this application sent directly to you. You can always find it in the link in bio, but I'll tell you when the dates are open for you to apply. So I asked a couple folks if they had questions about it, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm going to answer some questions. If you have questions while we're here live, shoot them in the comment section, and I don't gatekeep. If you know me, I just tell it out. I tell it like it is. So let me get into some of the questions that I have. And if you have more questions beyond that, then let me know. What exactly is Creative Director Pro Academy? So it used to be an 8-week intensive program. Now it is a 10-week mentorship training program. That's so wild, so amazing. Oh, I'm so happy to see familiar faces. People who actually did the program, they're here because they know it worked. So this 10-week mentorship virtual program it's like taking a wide view of how putting creatives together function, not only within your internal team, but with the external team. As a lot of people know how to choreograph, a lot of people know how to dance, and that's where I come from, my dance history, so I can relate to those that are in that industry. But to really understand how to build a full concept, we talk about it. How to communicate with other departments, whether it's lighting, whether it's screens, special effects, the director, producers, these people who are experts in these fields. That's what's so fascinating is like, yes, you're a creative director, right? But everybody who is probably in the room with you is so fascinatingly creative as well. And when you are that leader or you're that producer supporting the leader, however you position yourself, you are in the room with just people who are trying to figure it out. They respect the deadline, they understand budgets, and having these conversations sometimes can get a bit overwhelming if you don't really know how or why these conversations are coming up. And I say from experience that I've been in rooms where I will be taking notes and I'll say, yes, okay, but I don't really know what I'm writing down. This program, Creative Director Pro Academy, connects the dots for you. It really links the terminology that you hear, but also now you get to understand. What else do you get to learn? You're going to learn how to present your ideas professionally. As dancers, as choreographers, and I'm speaking to those people right now specifically because that's what I come from, is that we know how to creatively express through our bodies. We know how to tell a story through movement. But when you want to take it to the next level, and you want to really be the leader of a small room or a bigger room or any type of space, you have to be able to articulate your words. You have to lead with confidence and enthusiasm. And what's so great about what we do in these 10 weeks is that that's an exercise that you get to experience. And then you really see that the talent that you have naturally in your DNA, because you know how to dance and perform and put yourself out there under the spotlight. When I lead a room full of heads of departments and I'm telling them this concept of a creative, and you have to paint the picture. You have to paint the picture verbally, but also in a creative deck. So the goal is to get everyone excited about your ideas. I don't know if you can tell here just in this live, I'm excited about life. So I take that energy and I pour into the people in Creative Director Pro Academy that is exactly what they can do as well. Because if you just tap into a couple of new nuances that you have to bring to the table, that's what this program does. It magnifies something that maybe you didn't even know that you were capable of. Thanks, Mom. She's giving me a good old clap. Another thing that Creative Director Pro Academy helps you understand is how to lead a creative team. So it doesn't just take one person. You know this, right? Anything great is made of teamwork, made of people who really know how to get things done. And so I get to share with you, the people who come into this space, how to build your team, who is delegated to what assignment, and then as a collective, how do we move forward and support all the other departments? It's fascinating. There really is a blueprint that I've learned on. I've been doing this for a long time, guys. So it started in 2010. I was on America's Got Talent, and that was the beginning of something like this, right? Where there's actually a leader coming up with all the creatives of these performances. And so what I learned on America's Got Talent, then into X Factor, then onto The Voice, and it wasn't just in America. I did it in the UK, I did it in Australia, and there's kind of like this flow of communication that really works, this formula that is set in, not stone, but set in place to help you be an effective leader. And so what's so amazing, and I just kind of reminded myself of this the other day, is that yes, I have been doing this position in this role since 2010, but I just got off of Star Search 2026 on Netflix, and how I can see it evolve, just like the dance community, just like modeling industry, all the industries evolved. What I learn and I can share with you is that these formulas work, and you take them anywhere and everywhere, and we keep growing. I can't wait to know as much as you do. Alex, I can't wait to share it with you. I genuinely cannot wait to share it with you, because if you guys don't know Alex, she is plugged into the community right now. And that's what's so fun is some people join the community before the academy, or vice versa. They both help each other. And there's just in the community, it's maintenance, it's monthly, and we're here and consistently. And then the academy is kind of like a catapult, because it's an intensive. It's a 10-week program. And when we're in it, we're in it. And when you commit to it, you will see yourself so on another level that you can't even imagine, that you almost might have missed that moment. And now I'm into the 4th round, and I'm watching people shine and rise and do their thing and do it with so much confidence. And I'm like, Someone's going to have to stop me from making this program happen. Honey, honey, honey. Okay, what else? And yes, I said this. So how to actually run a production room, that's leading the space. So we talk about it all. Nothing's off the table. The community is amazing to keep us on track and accountable. Yes, I need the weekly check-in, and you're absolutely right. The Academy showed me what that weekly practice does. And that's why the community is built, because having that consistency in life, having that consistency of showing up and plugging in and pouring into not only yourselves, but also fellow creatives, like people who are on the same level with you. Because let's be really honest, there's not a lot of people that can relate to you at times, but this space that we've created, this ecosystem, we're actually shaping it so that we can talk about things, and we can ask for help in certain areas. So that's what I love about what we do. Question number 2 is, who is the ideal student for the program of Creative Director Pro Academy? So I will say, they say teach what you know. And I've danced since I was a little girl, and I've had this amazing career as a professional dancer. And I think people who are at the edge of their dance career, I don't know if someone's just starting out as a dancer, this might be a little bit too much information for them. I'm not going to lie. I think that if you are on the edge of your dance career, this program really does help you see things that you are kind of curious about when you're on set, when you're on tour, and you start paying attention a little bit more to maybe those crew members that are making the things happen and consistently at a professional level. So I think for a dancer at not the full edge of your career, but when you're really starting to tap into beyond just the 5, 6, 7, 8 and my costume and my hair and the glam of it all, and you want to really expand your mind, that is this program, Creative Director Pro Academy, is meant for you. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm so glad you're here. If you want to know more about it, just comment Academy waitlist and it will be sent directly to you. Another group of people who I think this program is ideal for is choreographers, because you have this life of dance, and you know how a stage functions, and you're tapped into like a stage manager and the director conversations. But now this takes you even further on how to be an effective leader in that creative director position, because choreographers, it's kind of, I don't want to say a small box of thoughts, but it's a portion of what a creative director has to think about. Because the creative director or the producer or the creative team, they have to think about everything that it takes to pull this off, from budgets to calendars to screens, and then we get into the creative. So there's like an administrative kind of mindset that you need to tap into, and you have to be able to articulate your creative in a really easy way for anyone to digest, whether it's verbally or on a creative deck, and we talk about it and we go in, and I love it. Okay, so those are just some people that I think it's targeted for, but not limited to. Let me tell you who has come through the space, and it has been really effective for them. We've had a script supervisor who's done the program, and she is now a creative director in her own right on her own show, and she probably wouldn't have believed that was possible, but that's happening. We have live event directors, so people who actually have their own company, whether it's nonprofit or they're putting on live events like weddings. This type of information is extremely helpful for them when they want to level up their business, level up their production, level up their administrative skills, and even for themselves. Like when you have a company, you are also the face of and brand of your company. I'm not saying we talk about that specifically. I just see how it has been very helpful for those in that space. And some people reclaiming their creativity in their life. Like, I know that that's a broad statement, but not everyone taps into their creativity. You get on the hustle and the grind of life and your bills and things that just kind of get the best of your creative spirit. And so what's so great about this space is that it taps into that, and then you can apply that to anything in your life. So I have found that that's been awesome. We've had casting directors that have done this program. And I also think that artists, if there's like a new type of artist that wants to be their own creative director and doesn't want to rely completely on somebody else executing their ideas, this would be a fantastic program for them. This is also open to stage managers, people working in live entertainment, and performers who just want to transition into directing. So that is who I think this program is designed for. Question number 3, what will I actually be able to do after the program? That is, people want to know, what is the return on investment? What is that? What do I get out of this? What do I actually get out of putting myself through Creative Director Pro Academy? And honestly, it is a fun it's a fun question, because in the beginning I didn't have that answer, but now that we're in round 4, I have a full, clear understanding on how and what you can do. So when I say you are going to be able to build a creative concept, that means you can, and I'm going to say it because this is my podcast, you get to greenlight your own life. So if you have an idea, or if you want to pitch something, you know how to articulate that. Coming out of this program, it is like creative freedom. You should be able to step up to the plate without a shadow of a doubt, understanding what is necessary to get an idea across the line for a live performance, or even maybe you want to do a passion project and put it on YouTube. Like, this just helps you hunker down and say, I'm going to be the best creative leader possible. And this program gives you that like amplified enthusiasm to do so. You get to create not just mood boards, which we define the difference between a mood board and a creative deck. We're going to really get into you will know the difference and how and when to use them. And then you're going to be able to communicate with departments like lighting and staging and wardrobe and all the elements that it takes with confidence. Ooh, confidence. That is the ticket, you guys. We work too hard to shrink for anybody. When we walk into a room, the goal is that you feel confident in how you speak and how you move and how you work with people. And that's what you're going to be able to do coming out of this program. And I know that sounds, you're like, why does that matter? And it matters because if you want to expand your life, if you want more responsibilities, if you want more money or more opportunities to be in spaces and rooms that you might not be in right now, but you believe that you belong there, you want to do it with the utmost confidence and not feel like you failed up into that space. You want to do it because you know you've earned it and that you belong there. And that right there gives you another ticket to longevity in this entertainment industry. In my opinion, if you feel me, give me an applause in the comments, whether you're watching on the replay or you're here live with me, because I know that that's important. We are talented people. And when we're talented, we have insecurities. We don't have to put ourselves in that situation. If you put yourself through a program like this, you build that confidence. And I don't know if you can tell, but on your side as a cheerleader, you can do anything. And I will be the one with the pom-poms rooting you on. So that's what I said. Okay, so yes, Tice, he is clapping because he knows he did the program. Thank you. Okay, so you can pitch ideas confidently, and now you can understand how productions move from idea to rehearsal, to stage, to camera, and to, well, we don't get into post, but these are the things that you want to understand, especially if you are in it and you want to stay in it. Lee, you're on tour right now. I want to know how this is effectively making you like the best performer out there. And I'm sure you're probably talking to the lighting designer, but saying that light needs to be over here and all the things. Okay, so question number 4. How much time does the program require? Okay, so the program is designed for working creatives. Let's be honest. This industry is... some days you're working, some days you're not. And sometimes I've had people sign up and do the program and then they get the gig, which I love this part. And then they're so busy in rehearsal, they can't attend the live the live sessions, but what they end up doing is they watch the replay of it, and then they can apply it in real time on the gig and say, oh my gosh, this is what Tiana's talking about. Oh my gosh, I can fix this. Oh, I know how to assist in that area, or something like that. So even if you become busy, the beautiful thing about this 10-week program is it's virtual, it's Zoom meetings, it's a group setting, and we meet and we have a community chat where we constantly ask questions or share new ideas with each other. So it's really, it's 10 weeks and we meet for 1 hour. I really try not to go over that 1 hour because I know time is precious. And so I just try to get straight to the point. You have assignments that are optional. However, I think if you really want to do the program, you would want to do the assignments because then you know you're putting the knowledge that I share to good use. And then the resources are there anytime to revisit. So if, let's say, we do the 10-week program, and let's say you get the job that requires some of this information that I share with you 10 months later or a year later, you have unlimited access to this content. So that's what I find is really fascinating. This is a lifetime information for you forever. And honestly, I like to keep it really small. I don't like to have a big group. I like to be able to know exactly who I'm talking to. I want people to have space for questions and not be overwhelmed. If it's like 30 people, that's not what this space is for. Do I need technical experience? No, you don't need to know, you don't need to know how to work a lighting console or anything like that. You just need to know what it takes for a lighting director and his team to do the job, and that's what we talk about. Now, if we're going to talk about technical things, what you do need to have access to is a computer. We learn on... the computer is like your dance shoe. You need it. And so when we're on the computer, I also show you ways to build your creative deck through Canva. And you don't have to be an expert in Canva by any means to do this. But I promise you, what I share with you is that you will have a lot more confidence in Canva and how to put your creativity to good use. And I just got off a call with one of our cohorts from the last session, and she said, look, I haven't done too many creative decks, but my social media is slamming because I know how to create all of my posts, all of my flyers for my gigs and my promotion. And I think then you make it work for where you're at in your life. So if I can share with you that is something that I'm proud of. So what's the next question? How does the application process work? So application, I'm looking at my notes, by the way, because there's a lot of information. Applications for the cohort is March 16th. Okay, we're opening the doors March 16th, and you'll have 1 week to apply. You guys, there's no harm in applying. You don't have to pay to apply. It takes about 5 to 7 minutes to fill out. And honestly, it's just great for me to get to know who you are, what you're about. Did somebody reference you to this incredible program? And I also like to know what your goals are, because it's an intimate space in the fact that I'm not a fluff type of mentor. I'm really hands-on. I share as much as I possibly can. And if I don't know it, trust me, I'm picking up my phone and I'm going to find out for you, because that's what we are. We share information, and I think that that's really valuable, because this industry is so isolated and there's so much competition in our mindset, and it's nothing. You can't really shake that. We grew up competing as dancers, and now we're in this industry, and the gigs are limited. And so it's a very competitive mindset that we jump into. But in this space, we really make it a community of like-minded people who are, and I kind of cast the group. And I think about, and each group has been very different with their kind of collective goals. And you end up being really good friends with the people that you join with, or now you have this link to somebody, and you never know how you can work together in the future or even help each other. So I just find that that's amazing. And okay, so like I said earlier, looking at my notes again, if you want the waitlist, if you want the link to application, put Academy waitlist here in the comments. And if you're watching it on the replay, I'll make sure that it's accessible to you as well. And basically the application link will be sent to you directly. and you can apply. You only have a week, and I'm only accepting 15 people at a time. Anything over that, I'm cutting it off. So you really want to get in and make sure that you jump into this summer, 2026, honey. In the summer, you're coming out like a rock star, okay? And that's what we're gonna set you up for. And this is a good question. I'm gonna wrap it up soon. But why did you create this program was the question. And this means a lot because it's kind of personal. And I can go on and on and on, but I created something that I wish I had. I'm not saying I had the worst time ever coming up and figuring out what this position is, but they say create what you know. They say build something that you understand. And for me, I wanted to create something that I wish I had coming up as an assistant. And then I wish I had this program that helped me understand what being an assistant to being then a creative director mentality, like just that confidence switch. And I know that that's more of an internal work, but I wish I had this so that I was confident in every room that I entered. And this program, what's so great about it is when I started thinking about it, honestly, there's classes for dance, there's classes for acting, for music, for directing, for cinematography, all of the things, but there's really not a program that helps you understand creative direction and to this level. You know, when I offer information that is really the makings of what is happening in television and touring right now. And I made it because I love teaching. There was a moment where I would teach dance. I worked at Universal Dance Association. I was a judge, and then I would come in as a guest teacher, and I loved it. I just loved teaching and guiding and being that person. But I realized, you know, fast forward to now, I don't want to teach. I'm not a choreographer. I don't teach dance, but I do want to give back and really pour into a space that I see is not happening. It's just, you know, there's creative directors for marketing, but when it comes to live performances, live entertainment, TV, touring, award shows, weddings, you name it, it's everywhere. And I get to share the nuances of what makes it fun and supportive. And you can do it with like a really, really good spirit. And when you do it and have the understanding of everybody's position that is creating these moments, you just lead better. And then you have a team that wants to support you and you want to support your team. And that's because you took the time to understand. You took the time to do your research. You took the time to figure out, how do I do this and not feel like you know what they say. What do they say? Oh gosh, I'm blanking. But you know, you're like, I don't belong here. But guess what? When you get the call, do you want to say yes to that call, or are you going to say no to the call because you're too afraid to step up into that new position? And the reality is, I want you to step up and say yes to that position. And there is 1000% room for every single person to make this happen. Your success doesn't take away from my success or somebody else's success in the group. I love when people come together. Imposter syndrome. Thank you, Lee Daniel. Oh, I love it. And that's what we're not going to do. That's what we're not about. We are about stepping up and owning it. So when somebody calls, I know that call is a divine call for me, and I'm going to rise up. Because that's what happens when I get the call, and I do it. And sometimes it freaks me out. And I don't shy away. I cannot. We've planted too many seeds in this career. I have my family, I have my children, and I just want to show them that it is possible to push forward and go for gold. The sky's the limit. You can wear a cowboy hat whenever you want. Okay. So yeah, if you are here watching this on the replay, if you're here with me right now, I love you and adore you. And I'm going to keep coming back on Instagram Live because I forgot how much I love having these chats. But I'm here for you. Comment Academy waitlist so that you get the information sent directly to you. Tell a friend. If you tell a friend, make sure that I find out that you did tell them. And until next time, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful day. Ciao, ciao for now.